And now, marine weather around Alaska.
First up for the marine segment, we'll look at the sea ice analysis just completed this afternoon. You see a big increase in the sea ice here has taken place over the last week, right into Kuskokwim Bay now, east and north side of Nunivak Island, pretty well iced in, all the way up across St. Lawrence Island, and of course extending into Norton Sound and through the Bering Strait. And this pattern of increase will continue probably for the next several days. And for the coastal water forecast, strongest winds will be up here along the north coast out of the east tomorrow, 25 to as high as 50 knots in gusts. Lynn Canal, Glacier Bay, north 25, gusting 40 knots. Now on the south coast here, winds will be southerly at 20 to 25 knots, and south to southeast winds for the southern central inner channels at 25 knots. And for the day Monday, south to southwest winds on the south coast there at 30 knots, east winds at 30 to 35 knots for the north coast. And for Clarence Strait, south at 30 knots. Gale warnings for Stevens Passage, southeast winds 35 knots, north 35 knots for Lynn Canal. And for the eastern North Gulf Coast, storm warnings, northeast winds 40 to 50 knots for the day Sunday. Northeast at 40, so good gales in Prince William Sound with 7-foot seas there, and also northeast at 40 for the western North Gulf Coast. Storm warnings out, southern Cook Inlet, Kamishak Bay, and the Barren Islands for 50-knot winds out of the north and northeast. Full gales north of the Forelands in northern Cook Inlet, north winds 40 knots and 9-foot seas. Gale warnings for Cook Inlet on Monday, winds north-northeast down to 35 knots now, with 8-foot seas, and north at 40 knots for Kamishak Bay and the Barren Islands. And for the North Gulf Coast, north to northeast winds 30 to 35 knots. Prince William Sound, northeast at 30 knots, seas 7 feet. Kodiak Island, gale warnings tomorrow for sure. North winds 35 to 45 knots, strongest in Shelikof Strait. Northeast at 30 knots for Bristol Bay. Alaska Peninsula, north to northeast winds 15 to 25 knots. And for the day Monday, north to northwest winds for the Alaska Peninsula at speeds running, again, 20 to 25 knots. Stronger in Bristol Bay out of the north at 30 knots there. And 30 to 40 knot northerly winds for Kodiak Island with 8 to 10-foot seas. And for the eastern Aleutians, tomorrow, north to northeast winds at 30 knots. Adak and Atka, northeast winds 30 knots, and for the western Aleutians, northeast winds 25 to 30 knots. And then for the day Monday, western Aleutians, northerly winds 25 to 30 knots. Central and eastern Aleutians, same forecast. North winds 25 to 30 knots, with seas running 7 to 13 feet. And for the southwest coast, we've got gale warnings out tomorrow. Northerly winds 35 to 40 knots there. Norton Sound and St. Lawrence Island, strong northeast winds, gale force northeasterlies at 35 knots, and maximum gales there for St. Matthew Island, northeast at 45 knots, and the Pribilofs, north at 40 knots, seas 16 feet. And for Monday, Norton Sound, northeast 25 knots, St. Lawrence Island, northeast at 30 knots, and for the southwest coast, north winds 30 to 35 knots, with the gales mostly south of Nunivak Island now. And the Pribilofs, north at 35 knots. St. Matthew Island, north winds at 30. Eastern Beaufort Sea Coast tomorrow, variable winds at just 5 to 10 knots. Central Coast, winds southeast at 15. 20 knot southeast winds here for the western coast. And for the Chukchi Sea, east winds at 10 knots. For the day on Monday, we've got east to southeast winds for the Chukchi Sea at 10 knots. Western Arctic coast, south to southwest at 15 to 20, southwest 15 for the central coast, and variable winds here for the eastern Beaufort Sea coast, not too bad at about 10 knots.